Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes before we get started. And I'm actually going to launch a poll since this is our second time doing this webinar. So we're interested in knowing if you had joined us before. So that should pop up on your screen now. We'll give it just another minute here. Deborah, I know you had a couple of questions you were interested in having our folks answer in the chat. Do you want to describe that?
Yeah, so what I want to know is what industry are you in? What company are you in? Food and beverage, retail, construction, manufacturing? I'd love to hear what business you're in so I could give some real life examples. And then the second question is, what do you want to leave here with? Why did you sign up for this webinar? And when we're done at 1:30, what knowledge do you want to have?
I love
Just to
that.
help me focus it.
Of course. Those just joining us, we've got a poll up just asking if you would join us for our first take on October 15th. And then we're requesting just a couple answers in the chat about what industry your business is in, and then what you want to get out of today's webinar.
Oh, gardening subscription boxes. I need
How
it.
cool.
I need it. I was just thinking of starting my own like garden for like arugula and parsley, definitely avocados. I'm very successful with avocado bushes.
Nice.
My trick, I don't know if this is accurate, Julie, but I was telling my little avocado bush, I'm like, Mommy needs guacamole. Come on, you can do it. And it worked for 2 bushes that did not grow before me. So that was my motivational talk to the tree. Yeah, like next thing you know,
I
avocado every
love
day,
that.
every day, every day. Okay, we have manufacturing. Technically, we're publishing, psychological. Oh, yes, Ryan, I remember you. Thanks for coming back, Ryan. I think it's just so fascinating what you do, and so needed what you do. Nonprofit, Ventura Chamber of Commerce. You also do social media professionally. Oh my God, that's awesome. For food and wine business. Yes, there's so much, Ashley, like literally, especially with Instagram. I have to be in Instagram groups because so many things happened just in the last week. They took away IGTV, added Instagram video. They made scheduling for Instagram Live. So much is going on. Okay, John is business to business, social media ideas. Okay. Would love to learn about how to gain larger social media following and increase sales. Julie, we're definitely going to talk about that. Subscription-based data collection solutions, LinkedIn personalized targeted outreach. Oh, that's freaking cool. LinkedIn personalized targeted outreach. Is that what you want to learn or is that what you do? I'm not clear. Pietro, is that what you do, your business, or is that what you want to learn? You're trying to reach recent graduates in engineering, tech, finance, management, supply chain. Need to understand this demographic better, how to reach them. Oh, resume career and development services. Brian, okay. Stratus, college students use YouTube to find information. In fact, they believe in YouTube University. I know because I coach a lot of college students. So that's the place where you want to be. We'll talk about it. And if you get a chance to do a one-on-one session with me, I've worked with a lot of college prep businesses. Seems to be very popular. Yes, learn about that. Okay, so you want to learn about that. I thought maybe that was your expertise, Pietro. I love your name, by the way, Pietro. Pietro. That's like a tongue twister. I love it. Pietro para vicini. Am I right? I don't know.
I love your energy, Deborah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, of course, of course. Okay, so folks, we're gonna just go over some quick housekeeping. So if you want, you can still put in the chat what industry you're in and what you want to get out of this webinar. And then Deborah, just to let you know the results of our poll, we've got about 47% of our audience who was here with us for take one, and we've got 53 joining us for the first time.
Okay, so almost half and half. So
Almost
great.
half and half.
Okay, so great news. Thanks for letting me know. That really makes a difference.
Of
So
course.
for those of you that were here last time, the 47%, we are going to be reviewing in a little bit of a faster speed. And then we are going to also be getting into some new content. So part one is the right social media marketing platforms for your business. Part two is social media content creation. And then part three, which we'll be doing in a one-on-one basis, will be specifically creating your social media strategy, specifically working on your content calendar and take it to the next level. And this is all no cost, paid for by your tax dollars. Thank you to the Economic Development Collaborative, American SBDC. Okay, so let's get started, because those of you that were here before part one, people, you know, I've got a lot of content. Okay, so let's
Deborah,
get started.
can I just jump in real quick just for a
Sure.
couple housekeeping items?
Sure.
Awesome, thank you. So welcome everyone. Before we get started, just a few items to note. As the Zoom is held in webinar format, everyone is muted and your cameras are off. This is being recorded and you'll receive an email with a link to the recording and the PowerPoint slides in the next couple of days. If you do have any questions at any time, please submit them using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If you're dialing in by phone today, you can submit questions via email. Email your questions to webinar@edcollaborative.com. Again, that's webinar@edcollaborative.com. But if you're here with us today on your phone or on your computer and you've got access to the chat and Q&A, of course, feel welcome to put them in there. If you run into any technical issues during today's event, please put them in the chat. Stephanie Gonzalez, our bilingual marketing assistant, will be available to support you. So Deborah, now I'm going to let you hop on in because I know you've got a lot of content. And just to remind folks, if this is your first time joining us, no worries. If you miss take one, you'll get the information you're looking for. And if you did join us for take one, it'll be a great overview and continuation.
Exactly.
But with that, Deborah, go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Deras. I am a social media marketing consultant here at the EDC. I am also a small business owner like you. In fact, I've been a client of the EDC since about 1999. And when I was launching my business, the SBDC helped me. In 2002, I quit my job and I don't even want to say bootstrapping. I've been using organic social media since the MySpace meetup days, email newsletter days. So what I am going to share with you today is social media marketing strategy to be able to increase your engagement of potential leads that are going to turn into clients and customers. And organic meaning not paid ads, just through natural engagement. So we're going to talk about that. So there are 3 steps when we talk about social media strategy. And I want to simplify social media strategy so it's not that complicated, because it's always changing, it's always different, but it's kind of like any sports. If any of you love sports, you know that, to win a football game or to win a baseball game, you need a strategy, you need a plan. Right? So I am going to give you the strategy and the plan so that you can position your business, your brand to be successful with getting sales, okay? Because we as small business owners do not care about social media for friends. We don't care about it for fans. Some of us don't even like it. Some of you hate it, and that's okay. It's okay if you hate it, because when it comes to social media for business, it's literally creating an online sales team, an online network that's going to bring business to us while we're doing other things. Because I know many of you are busy, you're wearing many hats, and we need social media to work for us, or we don't have time to do it. Okay. So the first thing is getting clear on which social media platform is right for our business. Understanding who our target market is so we can have the proper messaging for those people that like the kind of wine we sell, or for those people that need those psychological assessments, so that when we're typing on social media, they're like, oh, that's for me, right? You have college career prep. Oh, wow, I need you, right? And that's what we're going to do on social media. We're going to make our product and service a need, not a want, so people are compelled to buy. Because by human nature, people are procrastinators, and social media marketing is an organic way of creating sales. So we have to use psychology in order for us to get sales, which makes it easy if you're an expert in psychology. But I'm going to teach you different ways that you're going to be able to naturally, in a non-salesy way, attract people. So the second thing that we need to do is we need to create content that engages, okay? I want you to think, when I say create content that engages, think about when you walk into a store, you walk into a winery. They're not going to ignore you when you walk in. They're going to welcome you. Hi, welcome. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. They're going to start a conversation. And that's what you want to do with your content. When you're posting content, you're actually starting a conversation. That is what engagement is. Okay. So you want your potential leads, future customers, whatever you want to call them, to start talking with you, because you will get 85% more sales if people feel they know you, that they like you, that they trust you. And you can start that conversation virtually through a post, especially through video posts. We'll talk about that in a minute, and through a conversation. Okay. So we are going to increase sales by increasing that connection that will be conversations that are started through our social media. Okay. The next thing is activation. What is activation? A few weeks ago, I was doing a webinar for, I can't remember who, but I do remember. It was Louisiana Small Business Development Center. I work with Arkansas and Louisiana as well as Southern California. And Instagram and Facebook had gone down that day. And they were like, we have a promotion. We were looking to apply the strategies, that we're learning. And one of the things that we have to realize is social media platforms are great for awareness and getting people to know about our wine, or getting people to know about our psychological services, whatever. However, we cannot put all of our eggs into that basket and just rely on it. We need to drive traffic, they call it funneling, into our own email list. How many of you are here because you got an email from Tracy or Stephanie? Majority of you, right? Some of you may have seen it on social media, but the majority of you probably got it from an email. So we use social media for people to be aware of our product and service, to educate them on the problem we solve for them. But then we use email marketing to stay at the top of the mind of people and to really cultivate and nurture that lead to get that sale. Okay. It's not magical with social media. Like you put a post up and then you get millions of sales. That happens sometimes when things go viral, but that's unlikely, right? How social media organic works is by cultivating relationships online through strategic posting. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to go over this briefly for the 47% that were here last time, because we're going to move on to content creation, but I do want to go over it. And by the way, each one of you, by the end of these 3 slides, should have 2 platforms that you're going to focus on. Because when it comes to small business owners and social media, it can be daunting. It can be overwhelming because it seems like every day there's a new platform. Oh, now that we learned Instagram, we have to learn TikTok. Are you serious? Isn't that for kids, right? So it can be actually annoying for some of my small business owners. They're like, it's ridiculous. Why do I have to be on everything? I have some great news for you. You do not need to be on every platform posting nonstop all day long. You don't have time. Your main focus is business development, sales, operations, growing the outer workings, the inner workings of your business. So what you do need to do is you do need to have a presence on the platforms where your target market spends their time. Ryan already knows this. He was here last time, right? So what you want to think about is, for a moment, take off the hat of small business owner, CEO. Put on the hat of your ideal target market. Now listen to what I said. Ideal target market. I didn't say your current customer. I didn't say your current client. I didn't say the client that's a pain in the neck that you have to keep billing and keep calling and never pays you and blah, blah. I said ideal. So when we're doing social media marketing, we're not preaching to the choir of people we already have. We're being very intentional, and we're saying, who is my best customer? Because I'll tell you something. I do public speaking and motivational speaking, and I used to really only speak at Latin events and Hispanic events, right? And then everybody would say to me, oh, can you do us a favor for the community and just do it? And they wanted me to do things free. And I was like, I'm a business. I can't do things free. And I said, well, how can I serve my market and still grow my business and have my ideal target market? And I realized I had to pivot to corporations, to Verizon, to NBC, to JP Morgan, serving their Latino professionals, but in an organization that can afford to pay me and pay me very well. Do you see that little pivot? So we're not focusing on the people that we have that may not be paying us what we deserve, or may be giving us, maybe bad problems with customer service. We want to go to our ideal target market. Okay, so let's get started with the major 6 platforms. So you saw the other slide, so many platforms out there, but there are basically 6 platforms and really 4 players, because there are various companies that are owned by each other. Let's break it down, okay? So those of you that were here last week, you can see if you remember, okay? I'm going to ask questions to you and you can mentally answer them, and I'll give you points, right? So YouTube is a platform that is so amazing for many reasons. One is it is owned by who? My 40%, you already know, Google, right? And when you're thinking about your business, which I'm sure you do 24/7, you're even dreaming about your business. I know I do. I don't just dream about my business, I dream about your business and ideas and solutions for you. So, but when your clients are looking for you, what are they going to do? Are they going to Twitter it? Are they going to TikTok it? No, they're going to Google it. Am I right? They're going to Google it. Okay. Google is a search engine, but guess who Google owns? YouTube. Guess why YouTube is in trouble with the US government? Because they're a monopoly. But how does that monopoly help us, the small business owner? Because they're a monopoly, they put all of the platforms that they own to the top. Google reviews will be above Yelp. YouTube will be above TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram every day. So if you want more bang for your buck, more return for your investment, Pietro, you want to have a presence, at least one video on YouTube. You don't need to be a content creator. You don't need to be posting on YouTube every day. You don't have time, and I know that. I'm not going to ask you to do that. I wouldn't expect you to do that. But if you can have a 90-second video on YouTube explaining what your business is, how you're different, how the wines are made in South Africa, how your psychological assessments are so important, how your career college services are different than other people's. You're not going to tell them, you're going to show them in a YouTube video. How that serves you as a business owner is not only do you come up in Google, but you also come up in YouTube. And the second largest search engine after Google is YouTube. In fact, for people under 40, which is a huge millennial population and Z population, they go to YouTube first. During the pandemic, I learned how to cook on YouTube. I would have not eaten if it wasn't for YouTube. It taught me. I didn't learn from a cookbook. I learned from YouTube. So YouTube is super powerful. I'll give you a really practical example. When I was, shifting from working for nonprofits to working for corporations, I had videos on YouTube on my speaking services, right? And I named my YouTube channel Latina Speaker because when JP Morgan hired me to fly me to Manhattan and Delaware to train their team, they said that they Googled Latina Speaker and found me. I'm like, oh, well, I need to make sure that that's the name of my YouTube channel, the keyword, not my business name, not my name, not some cute name that nobody knows, because you have to be discoverable, right? I know we're very attached to our business names. We love our business names, but what comes up in Google search is keywords. So Verizon was looking for someone. They had this was years ago before it became Latinx. It was Hispanic entrepreneurs, and they wanted a trainer to teach technology to small business owners. So they Googled Latina speaker. They found my YouTube video and offered me a $60,000 contract for about 12 hours of work because of the keywords, because of the YouTube video. The one video on my YouTube channel sold the contract. I didn't have to audition. They didn't want to hear me speak. They just offered me the contract. That is how YouTube works. YouTube is powerful, okay? Results may vary. Okay, Twitter. Let's talk about Twitter. A lot of business owners that I coach, I've been coaching, I didn't mention this, with the Small Business Development Center for about 11 years. I've only been with Ventura, Santa Barbara since January, but I've been doing this with other centers for 11 years. And many of my businesses erroneously think that they need to be tweeting all day, and you don't, okay? So Twitter is the least app that I would recommend for small business owners. Why? Because the future of social, according to socialmediaexaminer.com, great resource for social media articles, says the future is video. And Twitter used to have Vine, went away. Twitter used to have Periscope, it went away. Those were their video elements. Now Twitter is just text. And people do not care about just text unless something's trending. Is there an earthquake? Is there a fire, right? Is there something going on like a Super Bowl or a halftime game, right? We don't need to use Twitter as business owners. The one thing that you could do on Twitter is, of course, get your business name, get your name on Twitter, and then have a lead generator. What's a lead generator? We could do a whole other webinar on lead generation. I'd love to do it some other time. A lead generator is getting people onto your email list. So I could have a post that says, 5 steps to go from likes to sales. Download your free ebook, The Social Media Goddess. Why am I giving people a free ebook? It's a lead generator. Then they're on my email list and I can let them know about other things I'm doing. Wonderful webinars like this. Make sense? So don't worry about Twitter. And by the way, YouTube is going to be set and forget because you're going to do one 90-second video. I can help you with that, with getting the video, setting it up, everything you need to put in the video. It's only 90 seconds. It's not going to be a lot of time, energy, or investment, but it can bring you business. Okay, Instagram. So Instagram is a wonderful platform for small businesses. It is actually, if any of you find it complicated or confusing or difficult, it's because it's 5 platforms in one. So Google owns YouTube. Of course, Jack Dorsey owns Twitter and Square. Who owns Instagram? Zuckerberg. Meta. It is. Have you heard about the Meta? I don't even want to talk about the metaverse. But Facebook and Instagram are the same company. So those people that say, oh, I don't do Facebook, but they're on Instagram, it's the same darn company, right? So when the servers went down, both of them were taken out. But why is Instagram great for your wine business? Why is Instagram great for your real estate business, for your food business, for your restaurant business, for your photography business, any business that is virtual and specifically targeting people younger than 40? People older than 40 are also on Instagram. When I look at my demographics, I have like 22% that are over 40, but it's probably because I'm over 40 and I know a lot of people in that demographic. But Instagram is fantastic because there's a lot of different ways to sell. I actually have a 6-week webinar that I do that maybe we'll offer sometime that talks about all the different ways you can sell. Instagram for sales, hashtag strategy, Instagram live, IGTV, now Instagram video, Reels. But I will give you one tip that I want you to leave here with some money-making strategies that you can apply right away. One of them is stop doing posts on Instagram and start doing reels. You'll go from 100 likes to 3 to 5 to 7,000 views. I've had this happen with many, many, many of my business. Why is that? It's because Instagram is preferring reels because they're trying to destroy TikTok, just like Facebook Live destroyed Periscope, just like Instagram stories destroyed Snapchat. Okay. So if you do reels, you will get so much more engagement, so much more sales. Okay. So let's move on from Instagram. So some of you, Instagram is going to be fantastic and should be one of your two. Okay. LinkedIn. What is LinkedIn? B2B, right? So if you are working with companies, corporations, you're like me and you're doing business to business, you have big companies as your clients, you want to have a presence on LinkedIn and you want to talk to people on LinkedIn in a corporate fashion because that's who's on there. Every CEO, COO, CTO, CMO that you would want to reach is there. In fact, let me give you another income producing tip. There is a service, a tool on LinkedIn called Sales Navigator. I know many startups, many new companies that pay the $65 a month. You're like, Deborah, I thought you said everything was going to be organic and free. There are certain tools that you want to invest in, but I would never recommend anything that doesn't have a return on investment. Why? Because I'm you. And I would never recommend something to you that I wouldn't use. So one of my friends who's a salesperson, they literally gave her a leads list that they got from Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. And what she did was cold call and email, and she was closing deals, deal after deal after deal. So if you know the title of the decision makers that could use your product or service, Sales Navigator would be awesome. But check out the 2-week free trial before you purchase it. Okay, TikTok. TikTok, I have to admit it, it's annoying to me. I hate to admit it. So I thought TikTok was going to go away. I thought TikTok was not here to stay. But actually, hot off the press, 3 weeks ago, TikTok views overpassed YouTube. And remember, YouTube is a search engine. YouTube is owned by Google. So TikTok is most likely not going to go away. But I don't necessarily recommend you get on TikTok. I have a hack for you. You want to hear the hack? Brilliant idea. It just downloaded to me in my sleep. So here's how you could get the benefit of TikTok without doing anything extra. Say you decide that you're going to be on Instagram and you're doing Instagram Reels. You can take your Instagram Reels and put it on TikTok. So you don't have to do new material for TikTok. You could take your Instagram Reels and put it on Facebook Reels. Did you know Facebook has Reels now? Brand new. You could take your Instagram Reel and put it on YouTube Shorts. Instagram also has Shorts. What is a TikTok? Some of you are like, Deborah, break it down. I don't know what a TikTok is. So a TikTok is short form micro content. When I say micro, I mean 15-second, 30-second, 45-second. That is not, you don't even need to talk. It could be just music, but it's educational, entertaining, fun, young. It's a wonderful way to be able to showcase your product or service without selling, just in a fun way. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. I personally am not on TikTok, but I may get on. I may do the strategy I just told you. Do put my Instagram Reels on TikTok, put my Instagram Reels on YouTube Shorts, put my Instagram Reels on Facebook. Okay, let's talk Facebook.
It looks like, sorry to interrupt, Jen White has a question in the Q&A.
Okay, can we hold
what
questions?
What does Sales Navigator do?
Okay. Oh, okay. So, but if we could, Stephanie, I'm going to stop to take questions because if I stop all along the way, we won't get through the material. So I was just going to get through this slide and then I was going to take questions. So if anybody has a question, just hold it for a second, just because we won't get through the material if I stop every time somebody has a question, but we will. I'll stop like every 3 slides, but let me get through the rest of the slide and then we'll go back. Okay. So Facebook, what it is It is a app that you all know Zuckerberg created. 40 people that are 40 years and over, primarily X generation baby boomers, use this app. The problem with Facebook for business is it is pay to play. Some of you may not be aware of this. It broke my heart when I first started coaching Santa Barbara businesses because I coached somebody and I realized they were paying someone $1,000 a month to post on Facebook business page. But Facebook business page only works if you have ads. And the ads can't be in a salesy advertising way, because if you hire an advertising agency, they're going to create one marketing material and they're going to throw it on there. It's going to have no personality and it's not going to convert. So you're going to spend all this money on the advertising agency, on the ads, and you're still not going to see a return on investment. How you can use Facebook to be able to grow your business is using Facebook Live and Facebook groups. And also a lot of the strategies that I'm going to teach you in part 2 of this webinar, content creation, you can utilize on a Facebook friend page. So you see, because Facebook makes money from advertising. They're an advertising agency, basically. That's how they make their full money on ads. If you put a link on Facebook and you take people away, they'll say, "Are you sure you want to leave?" They want as many eyeballs on there as possible. They don't want you to ever leave Facebook, right? So they make it very addictive. So you need to see who liked you, who commented on you. But the hack around the system is to use the friend page, but professionally, right? So I have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Deborah Deras, and I'm promoting, oh, I'm doing a webinar, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I got clients, Procter & Gamble, Church's Chicken franchise, huge clients. When you do Facebook the correct way, you can get sales, but you cannot do a business page and post and expect sales, because business pages are different rules, different algorithm, and unless you're paying for ads, it's not going to work. And many advertising agencies are just taking your money and not doing ads the right way. So I want you to be very careful with Facebook. Okay, so now I'm going to stop and take questions, but so what I'm going to do is, like, every 3 slides, I'm going to pause and then take questions, but we have like 2 hours worth of material for 90 minutes. So okay, so the intention with this slide, by the way, was for you to select 2 platforms that you're going to focus on, 2 platforms where your ideal target market hang out, and that you're going to be able to position your business, your brand, your products, so that they're going to see and say, "I need that." Okay, so somebody had a question about LinkedIn.
They have a question about what does Sales Navigator do?
Oh, Sales Navigator, so cool. So Sales Navigator is a tool. It basically gives you a database of leads. So you pay $65, I think it's, or $70 a month, and you give them a criteria. I'm looking, like, for example, my business. I'm looking for everyone that's a human resource manager that has a company of this size in Los Angeles, in Miami. Give me a list. And they give you a list that you're able to use business development to develop. I know of a speaker that had somebody, and he hired somebody in the Philippines for like $6 an hour that would email and interact with these people to be able to cultivate business. And that's if you're business to business. If you do business with other businesses, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is amazing. I know a whole webmaster company that built their entire business from Sales Navigator.
Great, thank you, Deborah.
You're
That's
welcome.
the only question we have right now.
That's it? Okay.
That's it for now.
Okay. We're going to go on. All right. So now that we have identified, the right platforms for our business, well, before we do that, let me see, what are the 2 platforms? Type it in the chat that you're going to use for your business. I want to make sure that you're clear. What are the 2 platforms? Type it in the chat that you're going to use for your business. And now we're going to set goals, and then we're going to go to content creation. Okay. IG and TikTok. Perfect, Michelle. Michelle, I want to say something. Make sure you take your IG Reels and put it to TikTok, not TikTok to IG, because TikTok is watermarked with the TikTok logo. And if you put it on IG, they won't show your reel. So make sure you create it on IG, put it to TikTok. Okay. LinkedIn and YouTube. Yeah, Stacy, that's corporate. Love it. IG and LinkedIn. Okay. Just remember, Rose, IG is a different kind of more younger, hipper, friendlier messaging. And LinkedIn is corporate, professional. So I wouldn't put the same exact content on Instagram as you would on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. YouTube and Instagram. Copy, Michelle. IG and Facebook. Cool. And the same thing, Tracy, with IG and Facebook. So remember, IG is under 40, Facebook is over 40. So when we get to the content piece, we're going to really laser in on the problems and pains that our ideal target market has and make sure that we're talking to them. So say you're selling skincare. Somebody on Instagram, their needs for skincare is different than somebody that's 50 or 60 on Facebook. Different skincare needs, right? Juan says Instagram and LinkedIn. Jen, okay, good. Okay, perfect. I feel better. Okay, let's go on. Don't you feel better? See, you don't have to be everywhere. You can just really focus. The first step of what we're talking about is the clarification piece. And I say clarity is cash. And once you focus on your niche and you're really clear, you make a list of the pains and problems they have, then you can educate them, right? So if you are a college educator and you're helping people with career prep, you could do different tips videos on YouTube on how you help people. Obviously, you're not giving away your secrets, but you're using the pink spoon technique that we call it in marketing. Every marketing class that you go to talks about the pink spoon technique or the little chicken on the stick, right? So you go to the mall, you're not expecting to buy a whole chicken teriyaki, but it smells so good and they give you a little chicken on the stick. All of a sudden, you're buying the lunch plate. That's what we do with social media. We give people a little taste of what our product and service will give them, the benefits that they get from it, so that they'll understand why they need it. We have to make it a need, especially in today's economy where there's so much inflation and some people are doing great with money and some people are still like, oh my God, trying to catch up from everything with the pandemic. We have to make our product and service compelling so people will want to spend their money on us. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. When you are super clear on the pain and problem that your target market has, and all the content that you put out solves that problem, your business is the answer to their problems. They're going to want your services. They're going to be constantly asking you, can you help me? Can you help me? Which reminds me, I have like Facebook messages of people that want to hire me and I'm so busy, I haven't gotten back to them yet. So see, that's what's going to happen. When you educate people, they're going to be like, I need you. Okay. Whatever product or service you sell, they're going to need it. But what you want to do, and I loved the person that was talking about the wine and they talked about that it's coming from South Africa. I'm like, oh my God, so cool. That's something unique, right? It's not every day that you get to taste a South African wine, maybe Napa, maybe California, maybe Argentina. So it's making people aware of how your brand, how your product, how your service is unique. What you do, Ryan, is different than what other people do. You have to let people know. Okay. It's really, really important. And then we want to create a clear, compelling call to action. So I have actual samples in this presentation of calls to action because many businesses I see is they either do all or nothing. They're doing all promotion, 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 and it just seems salesy and it drives people away. Or they're doing all giving a taste, giving a taste, giving a taste, and then they never do a call to action. So people don't know when to buy. I had an interior designer client and she had all these beautiful designs, but there never was a call to action to, hire me, right? So we have to guide people in the sales cycle with social media. Let them know how they can buy our product and service, but not in a salesy way, more like a QVC infomercial way. All right. I'm going to teach you. Don't worry. Okay. So when we talk about our goals, one could be brand awareness, right? We want to be the tissue to the Kleenex, right? When they think of career coaching, they think of you. When they think of South African wine, they think of you, right? Very, very clear. We also, like I said, very important, want to drive traffic where? To our website to get them on our email list. So I have a client, she does employment labor law. There's so much to learn, right? With the new vaccine mandates and what's going on. She's got this amazing YouTube channel, but she was never driving the traffic back to her website. I'm like, they're just going to watch your YouTube and say, thank you. That's great information. You need to give them a compelling reason. So what we did was we created a lead generator that we put right at the top of her YouTube page. That's like 5 tips for employment labor law, and it gave them a link to the website for constant contact. People put their name and email. Next thing you know, they get an email to schedule a complimentary consultation, 15 minutes with a legal aid. Next thing they know, they're hiring the lawyer. You see? Social media to sales. Okay. So we definitely want to drive traffic to our website. We also want to encourage our community to be advocates and loyal customers. We want to encourage the people that are following us to share. One of the great ways to create a community of advocates is live streaming. Every Thursday, I go live on Instagram. I did it yesterday with my Louisiana, Arkansas, California businesses just to answer social media questions that I didn't get to in all the webinars. And it was so wonderful to be with all of the people, to get them to like, trust, and respect me in a whole other way, right? And so you can do that through live streaming. I'm going to talk about that. We also, of course, want to drive sales. So maybe we give them an irresistible offer, right? We give them a reason to buy. Think about it. Many of you are already thinking about Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, right? You're not going to buy until there's a sale, right? And the companies know that. So they're doing like early Black Friday sales. We also need to be thinking about getting people to buy now, not December, now, right? So how can we do that? We need to give people an irresistible offer. And when I say irresistible offer, some of you who are luxury brands, you're like, I don't give discounts. And that's fine. Your irresistible offer does not need to be a discount. I work with the Beverly Hills Chamber. I was doing their social media marketing consulting. I was on the board, and everything there is luxury. I mean, like Coach, Prada, the companies that are part of the chamber are like the Beverly Hills Hotel. Nobody's going to give a discount. But what they do is they give added value. Oh, when you book this week, you also get 20% off to the spa. Oh, when you go to Tiffany's this week, you also get a special bonus gift, right? So it's really important we have these irresistible offers to get people to buy. You also need to realize social media is not just lead generation, it's also an opportunity for customer service. So I don't know if you know, Verizon just announced $10,000 for small business owners, but they're only giving it to you if you take 2 of their classes. So I'm thinking of it from 2 angles. 1, how can I get into their classes so I can win the 10,000? 2, how can I teach these classes, right? So I'm trying to get on and it's not working. So I went to Verizon's Instagram and I said, I'm a small business development, a small business owner. This isn't working. They gave me a phone number to call. They were responding right away. And that's what you need to do. But when I say you, I don't mean you, an assistant. And I'm going to give you resources if you need low cost social media help. And when I say low cost, I mean like $250 or less a month. Because I know a lot of people that I've been coaching spending $1,000, $2,000, $2,500. That's for an advertising agency. What I'm talking about is once I work with you one-on-one and teach you the strategy for your business, help you with your content calendar, then we can delegate that to a $5, $6, $10 an hour person to do it for you for like $40 a week. Okay. I don't expect you to do all this. Trust me. I'm you. I am you. I'm a small business owner. We don't have time. We know it needs to be done, but we can learn how to delegate it. I've even trained via Zoom some of the assistants for my small businesses. Okay, so some of you are wanting people to come in. So if you're wanting people to come in, we need to tell them about safety protocol. How safe are we? You know, I'm going up to Oakland this weekend and somebody's having an event, but I don't know what the protocol. Are they going to require vaccination? Are they going to do tests? Are they going to require masks? This needs to be posted on your social media so people can feel comfortable or feel uncomfortable coming in. We want people, for those of us with brick and mortar, for them to come in the door and want to bring their friends. But we need to explain to them what to expect so that there's no issues. Okay, I know it's a problem for I feel bad for people that have to deal with this. Anyway, so what we need to do and what we'll do together, and if you want to do a one-on-one, is determine your social media goals. I gave you a lot of options. You don't have to do all of those. You could pick one or two. You know, brand awareness, building my email list, and sales. 3 goals. I'm done. Which platforms do I want to be on? You already know. You said Instagram, TikTok, you said Facebook, YouTube. You're clear. And what I would do is register your name on each of the platforms, even the ones you're not actively posting on, just in case you decide to do TikTok, just in case. But I have to tell you, the platforms that are not going away are YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All the other ones could be gone. You know, LinkedIn got bought out by Microsoft. TikTok, who knows, is going to buy them out. Twitter right now, Jack Dorsey, but who knows? He's focused on Square. All right. I met him, the founder of Twitter. I was walking down the street. We have a picture together. It's so cool. Okay, let's talk content creation, because those 47% people that were here last week, this is the part that we, I think, stopped at. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to create content that converts. Okay, I could not be in business for 20 years without using this system. Okay, because I did not get funding. I did not have loans. I did not do anything. Everything social media wise that I did was solving the pain and problem of your target market. And here is the difference that makes a difference for small business owners that I coach and myself. When you niche your niche and have an even tighter, narrower market, guess what happens? Your sales go up, right? So let's take something like Doritos. Like Doritos can be good for anybody. Like anybody can eat Doritos. Because I talked to some small business owners and I say, who's your target market? What pain or problem do you solve? And they said, oh, anybody, everyone. No. Right? So a company like Doritos, if they wanted to be anyone, everyone, how you market to a teenage girl Doritos and how you market, or teenage boy Doritos and how you market to a middle-aged woman Doritos is very different. Metabolisms are very different, right? So what Doritos does is focus on the young males that they know are going to be eating Doritos without a care in the world. Someone that's 49, like I just turned 49, you eat one Dorito, you gain 5 pounds, right? Like, forget it. It's not worth it to me. They're not going to market to me. They know I'm not their ideal target market. So here's the deal. Say you're doing wine. Of course, everybody loves wine. Everybody needs wine, right? But who is your ideal target market? Maybe you have a wine subscription program and you want to target people in Santa Barbara that are $150,000 a year, that are, maybe you want to target women. Maybe you want to target women that are working professionally, or maybe you want to target retired women. The more you niche your niche, the easier it will be to do social media. Why do I say that? Because when you're doing content, your content should speak exactly to your ideal target market. If it doesn't speak to your ideal target market, they're going to think, oh, that's not for me. That's not for me. Like, there is a woman that's a business coach, but she only works with people that are 7, 8-figure businesses. That's not for everyone. She's niching her niche. She's like, yeah, I will help you, but you minimum have to do a coaching weekend with me, $40,000. If you don't have $40,000, you're not my ideal target market. That's fine. She has a niche. I saw her weekend. She had like, I don't know how many people, 50. You're like, that's not a big group. But if everybody paid 40,000, you do the math. Her name's Allie Brown. True story. Okay. So niching your niche is going to be very important. I can help you with that. Okay. So what you want to ask yourself is, what is the pain or problem and who do you solve it for? So you do career counseling, right? For college students, what are their pains, right? Maybe they don't know what they want. They don't know where they're going. They lack focus. They lack attention. They, whatever their problems are. And maybe their problems are their parents want them to go to one school and they want to go to another school. Or they want to do sports, but their parents want them to do this or that. Your videos, your content should solve these problems. Then they're like, this business really understands me. I need to buy whatever they sell. Because here's the deal. Once they're clear that you understand them, they trust you. And when they trust you, they will buy from you. The major difference between businesses that sell easily online and those that don't is trust. I'm actually reading an audiobook about trust and the psychology of sales so that I can help you convert even more. Because when people trust your business, think about it right now. Nobody trusts anybody. Like when you hear about Facebook and Instagram, you're like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted Zuckerberg, right? Overthrowing elections, doing this, doing that, not caring about, kids, blah, 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 right? So people are very skeptical and they don't believe what you say about your business. They believe what your customers say. So one of the best things we can do on social media is get our customers, our clients, to be our brand ambassadors, to get them to post on how wonderful our product and service is. And we can work together and create campaigns to do that. Like I'm working with this brewery and we have this fun, interactive picture campaign where they can win this prize if they do Instagram stories while they're at the place, talking about how much fun they're having, etc. They can enter to win. So the more customer client engagement, the better. Okay. So of course, when we're doing our posts, we're educating them on our product and service. We're making them aware. How are we different? Do we do social good in the community? Do we give back? Remember Tom's, the shoe company, they blew up because you buy one pair of shoes and they give it away. Maybe you're local. Maybe you're women, right? Your women-owned business or local business. Make them aware. Especially, I have to tell you something. You probably already know this. The millennials love it if you are doing good because they're wonderful parents, us X generation people. No, I'm just kidding. Raise them right. So they care about the world. They care about the earth. They care about the animals. They care about, the future, right? Because that's their world, right? So they're very conscious. And the more you can show that your company is conscious as well, the more likely they'll want to use your product or service. Okay, so we're going to talk about some clear, compelling calls to actions because what we want to do is not keep people on social media. We want them to be aware of us and then come to our website, sign up for our email lists, right? Call us, talk to us, right? So you're going to give them a reason to do that. This slide is something that I'm very passionate about. I was coaching people over and over, and people kept asking me the same question. What do I post, Deborah? What do I post, Deborah? And I finally came up with a list that not only helped them, but helped me coach my team to post for me. Because in order to convert to sales, your content needs to specifically, number one, and this isn't all of the above. It could be one or two, doesn't have to be all of these things. But when you want to post organic content to sell, you want to have these components, okay? One, does it benefit my ideal target market? So if you are a wine company, maybe you're explaining the difference between this kind of wine and this kind of wine. Well, this kind of wine will give you a hangover. And this kind of wine, it won't because it doesn't have sulfites. It's organic, made in South Africa, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe something beneficial. You're a career coach and you're talking about, most people focus on test taking, but what we focus on is blah, 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 right? So you're giving them tips. Okay. Second, for example, one of the things I do that's beneficial on my Instagram is I do a marketing tip in an Instagram reel once a week. So there's a 1-minute video that you can watch every week, marketing tips. And that's how I let people know little taste of what I do on a webinar or in coaching. Second one is edutational. No, it's not a typo. I didn't say educational. I said edutational because it's entertaining and educational. Why is TikTok so popular? Because it's fun, it's friendly, it's entertaining people. It's like, oh, I didn't know, right? So you want to, the more fun your content is, and some of you are like, my brand is not fun. You know, not every brand can be young and super silly, but you could add an entertainment value to it, right? You don't even need to talk in these Instagram reel videos. You could be pointing. Like with the interior designer, I told her, point at a room that's a mess. Then point at a beautiful room that you designed. Then point at you. Hire me, right? It could be as simple as that. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, you're done. Okay. The more comical, though, content is, the more people will share it. Why is that? Because we're stressed. Everybody's stressed. We had 18 months of hell, right? It's been hard. I don't want to say, oh, it's so great, oh, the pandemic. It's been really, really, really stressful. Everybody has been stressed out. So anytime you can make people laugh, you know, it breaks up their brain from going into cortisol drip of stress and shift you from, you know, sympathetic nervous system to parasympathetic, rest and digest, right? Shareable. What you want to ask yourself is, if I create this piece of content, do you think people will share it? So if I gave like an Instagram reel of the one mistake small businesses make that stops sales, would you want to share that? Maybe. Maybe you know other small businesses that would benefit from that, right? The next one. Those of you that don't like to be on video, and I know there's many of you, and that's why I created a webinar called How to Speak with Confidence on Camera. It's not about you. It's about your product. It's about your service. It's about your brand. And you don't have to be perfect. The more imperfect you are, the more relatable you are. Okay. Does anybody know Suzanne Summers? She was on Three's Company back in the day. Remember that old school show? Three's Company, Jack Tripper, Suzanne Summers. I think she played Chrissy Snow. That woman is 75 years old. She is on Facebook Live, Instagram Live every day at 5 p.m. selling skincare products, selling youth products, selling, I don't know, she's still selling the Thigh Master. She's so relatable. She's hilarious. She's so funny. She brings her personality, and then her husband comes in and has funny jokes. It's awesome. She's almost making me buy things I do not need just because she's relatable, but she's making me feel like I need it. Watch her. Watch her. She's on Instagram and Facebook. And then she sucked me in. She said, oh, you know, you can get this discount. Go to my website. Everything I teach. She hooked me in. Put your name and email. You'll get your discount code. The best way to get people to join your email list is to give them a reason, like a code, right? Okay. The more conversational you are, the better. So I had a birthday the other day, and people have been posting on my wall, and I'm like, so many people. And then I'm like, okay, if I respond to every single person, the algorithm is going to boost all of my content of everything I post after it. Anytime you start conversation on any platform, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it boosts your visibility. The algorithm, the way it works, it's based on conversation engagement. So if you reply to each comment, it helps your subsequent posts. It's kind of like when you work out first thing in the morning, it boosts your metabolism. So all day you're burning more. Same thing with conversations. So here's a simple tip. Do you want to hear it? You could, in your social media, not just put a post out with a statement or information or beneficial content or educational content. You can also ask a question. So anybody that's retail on here, there is a company called Hot Miami Styles on Instagram. They have 1.5 million followers, including me, and I seem to buy a lot of dresses there. What they do is they'll show a girl with one black dress and then show a girl with a blue dress, and they'll say, which one would you rock, black or blue? Simple question. Don't ask people complicated questions like, what do you think of the new infrastructure plan? Don't do that. I mean, you could if you want to be controversial. What do you think about the mask policy? What do you think about the mandatory vaccine? If you want to be controversial, I don't like that Kanye West school of publicity, but it does work. Even the whistleblower for Facebook said that they were promoting more controversial content because it gets more engagement. But the bottom line is you can start conversations for good, not for evil, just by asking simple questions like, what do you think about this? Yes or no? Do you like this? Yes or no? Anything you could do to get people to start talking, because the bottom line is the more people converse with you on your social media, they feel a relationship, they feel a rapport. You're starting the sales cycle. And once you start the sales cycle and they're commenting and you're commenting back and starting a conversation, now you can cultivate that into a lead to convert it into a sale. Starts the process. And I have to tell you, it usually takes 7 to 10 touches. When I say touches, impressions, emails, social media, phone call, text, blah, 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 to make a sale. It takes time. Social media marketing is not organic, fast. It's kind of like natural weight loss. Yeah, you could lose 30 pounds on the master cleanse in 2 weeks, but you're probably going to gain it back, right? Yeah, you could get millions of, not millions, but you can get hundreds and thousands of followers in 2 weeks if you paid for them, but they're probably going to fall off. In fact, they will fall off. Do not ever buy followers. It's not going to get you sales, right? It's not going to get you sales. All right. If you do these things, like I said, you don't have to do all of them, even if you did 1 or 2 of these things. And by the way, when we talk about sharing, you need to ask people to share. Some people won't share. You could say, if you like this, share. So remember I was telling you about calls to action? So the rule of thumb in social media is 80% of the time you want to be giving valuable, beneficial content that really educates your potential customers, ideal target market on your brand, makes them aware of how you're unique, how you're better, how you're the best, actually, how you're the best career coach, how you're the best wine company, right? How you're the best psychological assessment company. But then the other 20% of the time is broken up into 2 pieces. 10%, you're like, happy Thanksgiving, happy this, happy that, happy National Cheese Day, whatever. But the other 10%, asking for the sale. And when I say asking for the sale, it doesn't have to be hard, the hard sale, like buy this now. It could be starting the sales cycle, right? Where you could say, click on the link in the bio and check it out. Like I have a client that's an interior designer, right? So she could say, click on the link in bio to schedule a 15-minute phone consultation, or click on the link in bio to download my free ebook, or click on the link to order. By the way, be very, very careful with links on social media. Here's something nobody will tell you. If you put a link like http www. your website on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, they won't show it. Facebook won't show it. LinkedIn won't show it because you're taking customers away from their platform. However, if you put the link in the first comment, they don't stop you from doing that. Just don't use the word link and don't use the word comment. How do I know this? I have a friend who lives in Santa Barbara, and he's an energy healer. I think I have him as a case study here for you to watch when you get the PowerPoint. And he uses Facebook to grow his entire business because his target market is affluent 45 to 65-year-old women. And he uses Facebook, and he puts always the link in the first comment. And I never knew why, but I looked at his Facebook. He has 500,000 people, and he has a program that he sells for $50 a month with 1,200 people that he got through Facebook living and Facebook posting beneficial, shareable content. How is he doing this? exactly the strategy I've been teaching you. Success leaves clues. So I'm not giving you theory. I'm giving you practical action that other small businesses like you have taken. Okay. You could say book your spot. These are just sample. Here's an easy one. Say you don't have an email newsletter yet. I recommend you get one. Number one thing from this webinar, get your constant contact, your MailChimp, get it working so that it's gathering leads. Okay. Because those leads need to be cultivated. We need a funnel. We need constantly to have new potential customers. Okay. All right. So if you don't have that, you could always say on Instagram, DM. What does that mean? Direct message. So then you can start the conversation, answer questions. NASA Space Center DM'd me on Instagram. I honestly thought it was a joke. I didn't believe it. I'm like, Houston, do you have a budget? They're like, we do. I'm like, are you going to fly me to Texas? They're like, we will. I'm like, okay. It was fantastic. It was like 7 years ago. So fun because they saw a video that I had done on YouTube, and then they went to my Instagram. They were looking for a Latina speaker for this all Latina high school to speak and do this workshop, and they flew me in through a DM, got that client. Okay. So when you're doing posts on Instagram stories, you're doing posts on Instagram, you can say, DM me for more information. Download your free gifts or download your ebook, download whatever. Okay. So the idea is with engagement is get people to comment. Your currency in social media is comments, because the more comments you have on every platform, the algorithm will push you to the top. The algorithm used to be based on quantity. Whoever posted the most would go to the top, but then they stopped that. They said, because then people were just using bots and computers and it was worthless stuff. They said, let's not do it based on quantity. Let's do it based on engagement. What is engagement? Comments. The more comments you can get, the more visibility you will have. Bottom line. And then you want to start conversations. You don't want to let people comment on your stuff and leave it, even if it's not you doing it, if it's your virtual assistant. Have them respond to people and give them, like, say you're a clothing company. You could say, oh, thanks for liking this post. Here is a coupon code off your first order. Awesome. And you could have that in a little template, and your assistant could do that for every comment. Okay. We want to convert these comments, these conversations into leads, get them on our email list or get them on our text list, get them to purchase. Once they purchase, we want them to share the product, right? So my client that gave me this necklace, I shared it. I went on Instagram Live. I went on Instagram Stories. I went on Facebook Stories. Thank you so much. That was so nice. Right? She gave me this for my birthday. And so I'm not only her client now, but I am her brand ambassador, spokesperson, acrylic paint lady on Instagram. She's awesome. Okay, so I've already talked about the C's. We've talked about the content. Now I want to talk about the 4 E's. You will have more sales if you do educational content. Think infomercial, not commercial. Think Super Bowl commercial if you're going to do anything commercial. So the more you can naturally, organically let people know how to use your product demo, how to experience your service, the better. Also, attention spans are nothing. So since we've been home for 18 months, many of us, our brain cells have been depleted. I mean, literally, we are not as sharp. We can't retain information like we did before because we're so overstimulated by Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and all that stuff. So the attention span went down to like 15 seconds. That's why if you watch videos on TV or on YouTube, they edit it. So they change the scene every 15 seconds. Okay. This is why Instagram just announced they're getting rid of IGTV. What is IGTV? Long form video, 60 minutes. People are not watching 60 minutes of content unless it's like a music DJ and you have it in the background. They're not doing 60 minutes. So that's why they're making Instagram video, which is more focused on reels, short form, 15, 30 second, 60 second max. But here's something that I really want to emphasize to all of you. Seeing is believing, and showing is understanding. So instead of typing text on your social media, it is 10 times better to do a short 30-second video. Video is the future of all social media. And the more video you do, the more sales you'll have. Why is that? It's psychology, right? People trust people, businesses, when they can see it, hear it, feel it, and then we don't have smell-o-vision, but taste it, smell it. Those are the 5 senses: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory. Psychology of sales. I have my master's degree in psychology, education, counseling, and my bachelor's degree in marketing. So marketing and psychology goes so well together because how people buy is based on human need. And humans will buy when they have pain, right? They have a pain. I need to buy this, right? They'll buy like a vitamin if they have like a certain pain in their body. Or so we need, and maybe like wine sales went so up in the pandemic. Why? Because wine relieves pain, right? So you want to think about it. You would think that people would purchase more based on pleasure. Oh, I would enjoy this. I would enjoy that. But a lot of people are putting off enjoyment, luxury purchases, to purchases based on need. So we need to make our product and service a need by positioning it. Okay. Engagement. I already talked about asking questions, getting people to comment. This, if you learn nothing else from this webinar, get this slide. The fourth one, which I have not been doing a lot of myself, is emotion, evoking emotion. There are some people, and I have case studies later in the PowerPoint that you can look on your own because we're not going to go over them just for time reasons, like Shailene Johnson, she's in here. Tony Robbins, she's in here. My friend Emmanuel Dagger, there's a case study on them. They use emotion, whether it's passion, whether it's getting you to laugh, getting you to cry, have you ever seen like these Super Bowl commercials and they're talking about life insurance? You see the grandpa holding the little baby and they're walking, drinking lemonade, and the quality time with family. You're like, oh, that's what gets people to buy, right? If you do not evoke emotion, people move on, right? So they even say in YouTube that when you have a video, you should start it with your face with an emotion. Like, remember the movie Home Alone? That was a great cover, right? Because you're like, what's wrong with this little boy? What's going on with him? Why is he home alone? Where's his mother? Doesn't he have parents? But people are curious when there's an emotion, and curiosity gets people to pay attention. There's so much information on the internet, and we as small business owners need to stop their scroll. How are we going to stop their scroll? Educate people, entertain them, engage them, and evoke emotion. And this is not something that you need to figure out how to do. This is what I do with the SBDC. I work with you one-on-one. We create a strategy, we create content, and then I help you find a person, train them to do it for you, get sales. That's the point. Okay. So okay, should I stop and take a question? How are we doing on time? Time flies when you're having fun, Tracy. Okay. Can I go on?
Time is flying. We only have one question if you want to take it right
Okay.
now, or if you've got
Okay.
a little bit left, we can take it at the end.
We can take it.
You want to take it now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So this is from Jen White. Our wine is a luxury brand. Would authentic videos help? I don't make them because I feel I need professional videos.
No, you do not need professional videos. In fact, the more natural, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the reason that Instagram, I'm just about to talk about it on the slide, shifted from posts to reels, because posts were curated and they looked perfect and super professionally done, that it wasn't authentic and connecting with people. So people liked reels, people liked live, people liked stories because it was the actual real business owner, the real person. You could absolutely, and I could give you tons of ideas of how to do that. Just, schedule a session with me and we can work on that. For sure, you could use video.
Excellent. I love that. Okay, you're good to keep going.
Okay, so you've proved my point. Thank you for the great question. This is something that was a rude awakening for many of my small businesses, including myself, because here I am posting on Instagram like I've always been posting. I don't know if you noticed, and you see posts and you're like, why am I getting 14 likes or why am I getting 80 likes? Why is my Instagram, I'm posting all the time. I'm not getting sales. I'm not getting engagement. What's going on? Instagram and Zuckerberg, who owns Instagram, they have a goal, and they have a goal to take out TikTok. And the only way they're going to take out TikTok is if they give preferential treatment to Reels. So Reels, when you post a Reel, which is a 15-second short form video on Instagram, you get 4 times the exposure minimum. I've had clients here in Ventura County. I had a Peruvian restaurant that she was getting maybe like 80 views, and the restaurant wasn't even open yet. She started doing Reels and moved to 2,000. And then I was teaching her how to capture those people to get on the email list. So when they have the opening of the restaurant, they can invite people. And how did she do that? She didn't even have sound on the Reels. She had music, but it was a popular Peruvian song that people that like Peruvian food would love. Peruvian food, Peruvian music, boom. She's attracting the eyeballs of her ideal target market. Okay. Instagram Live is powerful. I just did it yesterday. I've been teaching so many webinars and you have to practice what you preach. And I was like, if I know the power of live, why is live so powerful? Because there's nothing more authentic than live, right? Anything can happen, anything can go wrong. And you could get people to trust your business, right? And I had a business that was a gym. And what they did with Instagram Live was they interviewed the different staff of the gym. This is the Pilates teacher. This is the yoga teacher. And it got the people that were following them to get to know them. And they booked personal training sessions. They did it on the beach in Long Beach, completely out by doing that Instagram Live. Peloton, a brand that got to the billion-dollar level during the pandemic, requires their staff to do Instagram Live every day. They're not just teaching the class because they want their staff, they want their people that buy Peloton to fall so in love with the instructors, to get so attached, feel like they're friends with the instructors. So how do they do that? By live. Stories are great on Instagram. IGTV, hot off the press, it just happened October 2021, is now called Instagram Video. So they're going to be having Reels and long form video together, but it's no longer called IGTV. IGTV was supposed to be the equivalent of YouTube. Instagram thought they could take out YouTube. Yeah, right. They're not going to take out Google. Do you know how much money Google has? I live here next to Google and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Actually, they're all here. I'm in Silicon Beach. It's exciting because I can go to a coffee shop and hear things that I'll tell you. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were getting rid of that. And then I find out. So when it comes to posts, like say your wine, you could do carousels. I don't know if you know what a carousel is. Go to YouTube and look how to do a carousel on Instagram. It's up to 10 pictures. Or you do real estate. You could literally do a showing of an entire house with a carousel. I have a hack for you if you don't want to do video. You could take a picture that you have and animate it for free using Canva, Canva. Or if you want to, you can make 1-minute videos. But why make a 1-minute video when you're going to have 4 times the exposure with Reels? Just better to do Reels. Okay. What else did I want to tell you? Live streaming is awesome. Whether you have a service or a product, I have a whole class on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. It's powerful because it gets people to trust you. Some of you are like, I don't have time for that. It's okay. If you don't have time for that, do 1-minute videos. You don't have time for 60-second videos, do 15-second videos. You could do one 15-second video and put it on Instagram Reels, YouTube Short, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. One video, 4 platforms. Think of the visibility. Think of the engagement. All right. So here is your assignment. What you want to do is decide how many times are you going to post a week? And whatever you decide, you want to be consistent. And one of the things I can help you do in a one-on-one session is we'll make themes. So we could have like a tip Tuesday or a wealthy Wednesday or a thrive Thursday. So you know, or your assistant knows what to post on each day. I did that yesterday with an interior designer. We broke down her content and now she doesn't have to guess what to post. And she has the goal in mind. Oh, this post is to increase my email. This post is for brand awareness. This post is to educate them on my product or service. Okay. I even have a social media content calendar template that I give my clients. So I'll give that to you. You could also create a free account. It's the best. All my small businesses love it. If you're going to do your own, it's canva.com. And if you hire someone to do it for you, have them use your Canva. So if they ever leave, you have all your social media templates with you, not with them. Okay. There's some cool video editing apps like InShot or VideoShop, but if you're using Instagram Reels, it is an editor and you don't need to have an editing software. Okay. Did you see this? Imperfection. You will sell more being imperfect than perfect. I know a lot of us are perfectionists and it's like, but you have to get started, not get it perfect. There's a wonderful, one of my coaches, Marie Forleo, she was on Oprah, Top Millennial Marketers to Watch. I'm sure you know her, Tracy. She's awesome. And she was like, she wrote a book, Everything is Figure Outable, because she started her business not knowing what she was doing. She was an aerobics teacher and a dance teacher, and she had to learn everything like we all do through trial and error, but you don't have to start from scratch. You have me on your team. I am here with the SBDC EDC for you. So you don't have to like, oh, figure it out. I basically spend day and night learning all of this and I can help you. Okay. And then what we do, if something doesn't work out, we course correct. Like I used to live stream at 11 o'clock, but that wasn't good for my target market. They're not available at that time. So I moved it to 6 o'clock. Okay. But the key thing is consistency. All right. So in the PowerPoint that you're going to get, there's case studies that you can look at on your own that will show you how all of what I taught you in choosing your platform and content creation works with different business owners. You can watch that on your own. And then what I'm going to do, I have just like different examples here that you could look at. Just watch here, click here. This is something that you'll get from the PowerPoint. And then if you are interested in me helping you, your tax dollars have prepaid for it. There's no charge. I'm not trying to upsell you now. It's no charge, thanks to SBDC EDC. And what I do in about 5 sessions is number one, I help you with a strategy. I have a template that we use and we have a working Google Doc. Then I have an Excel spreadsheet that's a social media content calendar. You can use it or not use it. It's a tool for you. Then we work on campaigns and launching your products and services. We review what's working, what's not working, and then you start generating sales online. And it's only for people that are already clients of the SBDC EDC. So if you're not a client, you can sign up to be a client. And I'll turn it over to Tracy on that one.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to put some information in the chat for everyone. There you are. So if you want to work with Deborah and you are not a client at our center, the Economic Development Collaborative Small Business Development Center, then use the Calendly link that's on the screen and that we just put in the chat to get started. This is going to sign you up for an intake appointment with one of our intake specialists, and you can let them know that you're interested in working with Deborah. If you're already a client in our center, if you are already working with Deborah, perhaps you're working with one of our other fantastic advisors, then go ahead, you can just email Deborah using the email once again on the screen or in the chat, and then you can get started right away. And I believe that Deborah will be sending you a link to sign up on her calendar to make it nice and easy for everyone. So before I close us out here, Deborah, we do have one question in the chat. We probably have a couple of minutes to take a few more before I close us out. You ready to take a question?
Yes. I am ready.
Awesome. Can we make videos from our iPhone without fancy equipment?
Yes, yes. I make videos for my iPhone all the time. In fact, I sold an entire online course. Yeah, I mean, especially if you have one of the newer iPhones. If you're going to use your iPhone, just make sure you have lighting so you can get a clip of a little light. And also, you want to use a microphone. I recommend RODE. It's a lapel microphone. Excellent quality sound for any phone.
Perfect. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions. If one pops up right now, I'll be sure to come back to it. But I do just want to mention that in addition to helping you with social media, marketing, and sales, the EDC SBDC consultants are ready to help you answer questions and navigate today's complex business environment. You can also access advising in finance, operations, human resources, international trade, business model pivots, and so much more. And you're welcome to meet with multiple advisors at our center. So if you want to meet with Deborah for social media assistance, and then you want to meet with someone on our finance team, that's no problem. And we're all here to help your business succeed. And all of these different kinds of advising can be accessed using that Calendly link that's in the chat and on the screen. I see a couple of more questions coming in. So it looks like Ryan W is asking, can you recommend a microphone to use for webinars?
Yes, it's called Jabra, Jabra. Do you like the sound on this? I love this. I used to have a Logitech and I just like this Jabra so much better. And it was this crazy orange color that's not my color scheme, so I just put blue tape on it. It's like $200.
Very nice. And then there is a question asking, is it okay if they're in San Diego? And it sounds like they're asking in terms of signing up with you or signing up with our center. So the good news is that small business development centers are around the country. So I believe that there is a center in San Diego. It would not be ours, but we should be able to connect you with them. And so I will, Jen, message you some more information on that.
San Diego's beautiful. Lucky you living in San Diego. Love it.
Fantastic. All right, well, I think that's it. So since we're closing out, Jen, I'll send you an email with some further information. And then as I had mentioned, everyone who's here today is going to receive a follow-up email with the recording of the presentation and the slides, so no need to fear. And if there's no further questions or concerns, then we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I want to say a big, big thank you to Deborah. Your content is incredible as always, and it's very fun to spend a Friday afternoon with you.
Yes, yes. Okay, thanks everyone.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.